Fallout New Vegas, while not being trivial, is not a hard game. If you have a basic understanding of the mechanics and where to go, you'll have a pretty laid back experience. I mean, that's one of the reasons people do these challenge runs in the first place, for a challenge. This may not apply to hardcore, as I've never played hardcore before, but if you could give me some insight to how difficult hardcore is, let me know in the comments. And with one of New Vegas' core themes being gambling and casinos, I tried to think of a challenge that fit with that theme. So, I came up with this. Every 5 minutes, I spin this with the category of gun I get, then spin the wheel that determines the gun I use, then I spawn it in using console commands. 3 things to add. 1, I'm playing on a modded save. All this means is that I can sprint, and there are more enemy types, with more varieties of guns to shoot me with. I'm only using the base guns, I'm not using any modded. Maybe that's a future challenge, I don't know. 2, I'll have every weak type of ammo at the start. Of course, some ammo types just don't have weaker variants, so I'll be using the base type. I can use other types of ammo if I get them, but I'm only summoning in the weaker ones at the start for an extra challenge. Number 3, I won't be mentioning every time I switch, not only for my sanity, but also because that's fucking boring! And with that being said, let's start the recap. First thing I did was go on a random name generator to go with the theme of randomness, and the name I got was Wukong Teddy Greer, so I sent my name as Wukong Teddy Greer, as the rest didn't fit, and now as I'm reading this, I could have just capitalized the letters. Fuck! As for the build, just did a mix build, and took Skilled and Wild Wasteland for my traits. When I got to the house, I spawned in all the ammo, plus I did my first spin. The 357 revolver was a decent starting weapon to land on. I even managed to use it on some powder gangers and geckos, which I can't say for a lot of guns I rolled. When I got to Prem, I used what last bit of time I had with the 357 to kill most of the convicts there. And what did I get next? Probably one of the most forgotten weapons in the game, the grenade APW, for no good reason really, but I used it against the last convict outside the Bison Steve Hotel. And it took a stupid amount of time, mainly because I considered timed 25mm to be the worst variant. But I channeled my TF2 Demo Man energy and killed him, and we then went on a rampage inside the Bison Steve Hotel itself. In there it worked a little better, but you can see why I considered time to be the worst, but it did the job, and I killed Beagle like usual. Next roll I got was the 45 pistol, or the 1911, and I killed that annoying little bitch up top the roller coaster looking thing, and went on my way to Nipton. When I got to Nipton, I killed Swanwick and brutalized his corpse for the last of my 1911 time, and I spun for the 4th time. And yeah, a friend told me that Hive was the worst rocket type. And since I've never used Hive before, I took him on his word and spawned Hive. It was not. Though I almost did die because one of the fucking legionaries was hiding behind a fence, making it annoying to hit him. Though I did succeed in killing them all, and made my way to the Mojave outpost, did some trading with Tracy, and rolled pulse nades. Gee, I hope there isn't any humans coming up or I'll be screwed. Hehe. Anyway, when I got to the little canyon thing, I remembered. Shit, there's scripted enemies here. And they're human. I thought maybe pulse nades did at least some damage to humans. Otherwise, I'd be screwed. God damn it. And to add salt to the wound, time bombs. I didn't even know these existed before this, and for good reason, as they're complete shit. They take so long to detonate, Fallout 5 would have been released. But I managed to run to these wandering traders, and they took great care of the Vipers. And I rewarded them with the time bomb in the middle of combat. Next roll, I got the All-American, and proceeded to unload on a corpse, thinking it was asleep, causing the actual alive legionaries to wake up, and then go back down 6 feet under. I then grabbed a Veteran Legion helmet and then proceeded to wear it for the rest of the playthrough. I saw a camp of Vipers and I thought they'd be easy pickings. It started out fine, but I quick saved right before I died. This put me in a bad spot and I died a few times. Made worse by the fact that I rolled the layer. This is a good time to mention that my timer ran continuously. Whether I died or not, it only stopped when I was rolling or spawning the gun. But anyways, back to the recap. The Layer is not a bad gun, and in fact it's quite good, but it is worse than the All-American. But I did get out of that bad spot with a few lucky VAT shots and immediately quick save, just so I didn't have to go through that again. When I got to Novak, I just bought some supplies from Briscoe and left for Boulder City, but on the way there, this happened. What the shit? Got to Boulder City, did the normal good guy route, and pissed off Kowalski. Keep in mind, I also had a star bottle cap, meaning Malcolm was also chasing me, so that's sort of terrifying. Yeah, I had a second objective, try and avoid these two. On my way to New Vegas, I spotted another person that wasn't Kowalski chasing me, so I shot at him. Turns out he's that ranger who gives you the radio after doing some stuff for the NCR. I didn't recognize him at first, but when I killed him, he came back and talked to me and acted like I did nothing wrong and went on his merry way. I wasn't complaining though, I was pissing myself laughing. Near Camp McCarran, I killed some Finns for Fido, then killed some troopers for their uniforms, then took the monorail to the strip. I talked to Mr. House. By the way, I'm signing with Mr. House again, cause I'm lazy. Then unintentionally scared Benny off to the fort. I was trying to do that whole Swank questline thing, but I fucked up and didn't have the speech for it, so I just decided to do some things for EXP. First, I killed that Nightkin at Novak, then I went back to Good Springs and decided to do the Powder Ganger side of Ghost Town gunfight. But before the main event, I rolled this. I'll give a sort of recreation of my reaction to the roll. Oh cool, dinner bell, this is gonna be easy! And then it hits me like a brick. 2. I'll have every weak type of ammo at the start. Most weapons that I got before just had slightly worse ammo, but 12 gauge has a particularly bad ammo type. Wanna know what it is? Beanbag rounds. What are beanbag rounds, Sherbis? Well, I'm glad you didn't ask. Beanbag rounds are a type of non-lethal ammunition. Keyword there, non-lethal. They do so little damage they make the Silex 22 pistol look like a cannon. And the worst part is, it actually serves a little purpose in the game, which is knocking out an enemy and switching to a different gun. In a challenge where I'm stuck with a random gun every 5 minutes. It went better than I expected, but not by much. While I was fighting, this happened.
Hello there. It's good to see a friendly face. I almost took you for a raider, I did. Name's Malcolm. Malcolm Holmes.
Yes, Malcolm Holmes decided now of all times is the perfect opportunity to tell me about star bottle caps. Not caring about his own safety, he decided to have a normal conversation about them. But honestly, should I be surprised? It's fucking Malcolm Holmes. At least Kowalski would have shot them back. And speaking of Kowalski, he's still after me, so I still gotta worry about him. Anyways, back to the gunfight, and everyone else is dead. Shit. And I'm all out of medical supplies. But hey, at least I still have that EXP, and now I know everything about star bottle caps. And to be careful about Alan Marks, who is totally not locked in a sarsaparilla factory. But after that, I felt like I had enough levels to proceed, and then stocked up on some medical supplies and headed off to the fort. But not before taking advantage of a grenade rifle roll to blow up some shit. I mean, what? I had to do something to pass the time. I don't care if Peter gets angry at me. When I got to Cottonwood Cove, I took the raft to the fort and talked to Kaiser about the bunker. But right before I entered the bunker, I rolled this. Plasma mines against static turrets and protectrons. God damn it. Well, it wasn't that bad. That being said, it wasn't good either. It was fun, but it was impractical. I mean, I kept dying over and over again. How else was I supposed to? I mean, I kept killing myself with the plasma mines. So, what did I roll next? What was it, like a machine gun? A marksman carbine, an all-American? A fucking fat man. Inside an extremely claustrophobic area. The footage speaks for itself. After that shit, I finally got a practical gun, Christine's COS rifle, which was just what I needed to complete the task at hand. And talked to Kaiser, like usual. As for Benny, let's just say he got the Jesus treatment. While I was running back to the strip, I made a detour to the gun runners to buy some Mark II combat armor, and went back to Mr. House, went through that boring Securitron upgrade process, and with Mr. House tasking me with recruiting the boomers, I departed for Nellis. When I was right outside Nellis, I blowed up both George and some homeless people with some Jesus grenades. Hallelujah, motherfucker! I then got past the Nellis Arties with speed and confronted the guard and entered Nellis. When I entered the generator, I used this flashbang. I didn't know what it did, but I hoped it was good.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Ah, shit. Wrong game. Yeah, on the topic of flashbangs, they did jack shit. Instead, looking like a different kind of pulse nade. But I just ran to the nest, planted the transmitter that Loyal gave me, and skipping through the frankly tedious boomer cliff line, I encountered this raider. He was being a little cunt and bruising the water. I did kill him though, and I did raise the bomber, and I reported to Loyal and went back to Mr. House. And thus begins the most annoying part of this playthrough. The fucking Gamora. Why? Well, let me show you this roll. God damn it, not again. So how did Esther fare, you might ask? Well, I will say this. It was pretty good, but I kept killing myself with it. I mean, it's a fucking nuke launcher. Of course I keep killing myself. If I had a little bit more stim packs though, I would have survived. But I didn't, so I kept failing. Next roll's probably gonna be good, right? I mean, it can't get any worse than that. For fuck! Yes, I got time bombs. See, with Esther, it at least killed a lot. But with this, it didn't harm a single fucking person. So I fared even worse. Hooray! Next roll can't get any worse. God damn it! You wanna know what some behind the scenes trivia? Well, originally, I was gonna do a challenge where I used the flare gun from Lonesome Road in the base game of New Vegas, where I'd spawn it in plus a little bit of ammo. Well, it will still happen, but it'll 100% not be the next one, cause holy shit is it awful. But hey, at least they kept killing the receptionist lady, so that's nice, but you can guess what happens next. I get screwed over for 5 minutes, and roll again. Finally, a good gun. I still died though, cause I was fucking stupid. But in the end, I did it. After 15 minutes of hell, I did it. I killed every fucking murder in that casino and reported to Mr. House. Mr. House told me that I had to deal with the Brotherhood of Steel, so I stocked up on any medical supplies I could get my hands on, recruited Veronica, and headed to Hidden Valley. Got Veronica to open the door, immediately dismissed her, got all the key cards, and executed the self-destruct code of the bunker. I kept dying to this Brotherhood of Steel knight with a modded Gauss rifle over and over again, but when my next roll came around, I got the MF Hyperbreed Alpha, probably one of the most underrated energy weapons in this game. I then used it to escape the bunker and went back to the strip to tell Mr. House I eliminated the chapter. And he gave me one last task to do before the Battle of Hoover Dam. Power up the Dorado substation. And we'd be golden. So, I went to El Dorado substation and went inside with a uniform and an APW. And, yeah, this kind of reminds me of Doom. It's kind of nuts. If for whatever reason you decide to do an explosive build after this, try the APW out. It's pretty cool. I wish it'd come back, honestly. I miss it. But before I returned to Mr. House, I stocked up on any medical supplies I could get my hands on. Which by that, I mean I went to the Boomer's Infirmary and time skipped a bunch to get a ton of stim packs and reported back to Mr. House. Starting off on Hoover Dam, I had a marksman carbine that got me through quite a bit of the dam. Quick little trivia bit, during this time I distinctly remember listening to Battlefield Friends during the section. I know that had nothing to do with the challenge, I just found it kind of funny. And back at Hoover Dam and... yeah, I got a 12 gauge again, meaning beanbag rounds. Actually, no it didn't, because they had other ammo, thank God. Talked to Mr. House and powered up the Eastern Power Plants and went to the Legion camp. One of the guarding Praetorians got blown up to bits, and the other one got his head blown off by Big Boomer. As for Lanius, well, for all the shit with the single shotgun, and the fucking beanbag rounds with Malcolm Holmes and Goodsprings, and the fucking Gamora, what does Lady Luck give me? Oh yes, thank you for that. Now, to the task at hand. As you would expect, it was a cakewalk. I mean, come on, it's the Alien Blaster. Of course it's good. I didn't even tell Lanius to make his troops stand down. I wanted to have a little fun. Just playing what was basically a point-and-click adventure game. And with Lanius defeated, Oliver disintegrated, and me congratulated, I found out that yes, you can beat Fallout. Wait. Well, technically, I did beat the challenge with the rule set I, created. Someone could technically, if they do this challenge for themselves, don't, you'll thank me, they could just roll every time extremely bad weapons every roll. Of course, this is an extremely unlikely possibility. Most of the time, yeah, you'll be able to beat this challenge. It was more of a novelty than anything else, but it was fun for me. I know some people would hate constantly using console commands, but I was fine with it. And while my next video won't be a challenge video, I promise it won't take... Wait, how long was it? Holy shit! Yeah. It won't take 7 months again. Apologies. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps, especially for me, because yeah. And join me next time as we see, can you beat Fallout 3 as Macaulay Culkin? Wait. I think I'm forgetting something. Ah, shit.
What the fuck are you doing?
I thought I escaped
My brother
you.
died
What the
at
hell
the
are you
Battle
doing
of
here?
Hoover Dam.
Please.
You're desecrating a
Someone,
war memorial.
Call help! Call help now!
Oh no, it's
Ah!